Servus Anja.
Hallo Thorsten.
Hi. One more German. Our listeners have to cope our kind of English. But anyhow, 4 days of PowerShell Conference. I know that you've been there before. We saw us multiple times in Hanover. So how did you like it at this new venue in Vienna?
I did like it very much. I think it was as good as before, and I really hope that we will have another PowerShell conference.
I know that you work in the IT space, and I know that you've been here with some colleagues the years before. Now we had that coronavirus. Lots of things change. What's your perspective? How does your work change within the last years, and especially in terms of automation and PowerShell? What's your focal point? Did it change a lot throughout the last years?
To be honest, I changed my job in the beginning of Corona. I quit in December, and then Corona came. And so a lot of things changed for me anyway. But I have to say, I have more job security now because IT kind of had a boom because everyone had to work remote. And we had lots of customers that wanted like a modern workplace. When I was on the first PowerShell conference, I was still in operations. So I did a lot of PowerShell, but I evolved kind of to solution architecture. So nowadays I do a lot like PowerPoint and less PowerShell, but I still want to stay connected. That's why I still come to the PowerShell conference every year.
So you manage your worker processes so that the guys do the job. If you think about PowerShell, I think we got it 15 years now, and a lot of things changed throughout the year. What is your perspective about the presence and the future of PowerShell itself as a technology?
Oh, okay, that's actually a hard question because usually I'm amazed every time I come here or check like online how PowerShell is evolving. Like you can do everything with PowerShell, and people even start to create modules where no one ever thought that you would use PowerShell for. Like this HTML thing, for example.
To me, the brother of everything is nothing. And I always fear that you can do everything means you can also do nothing. Microsoft itself, they really do focus on that cloud stuff. Is that from your point of view, from a management perspective, is that the future market? Do we get rid of all the on-premise stuff? Because especially we being both Germans, we are cloud skeptic in many companies, right?
I wouldn't say skeptic, but we still have a lot of customers that have to have certain things on-prem. And I'm not sure if it really makes sense to have like a German cloud. I think we had a German cloud, even an Azure German cloud, but people didn't really use it because if they want to have it in Germany, they want to be with a German company. And that's, something we always will have, I think.
I think I will ask the hardest question of all questions. PowerShell is on place number 40, I think, in terms of the most popular programming languages. Number 1 is Python. So what went wrong? That I do like Python, no question. But what went wrong that we are only place number 40? From your perspective, PowerShell is way better than place 40, right?
Yes, from my perspective, it's way better. And I know you can also use it on Linux because I think the people that use like command line and programming the most are the Linux guys. But when I first heard here at the PowerShell conference, there's even a module for Linux. I told the Linux guys in our company, and they were, like maybe, but we're not going to use it, so.
Bonsoir, Geoffroy.
Hello, Thorsten.
Was that acceptable? So, but anyhow.
Let's say it was okay.
Okay, let's say we call you Joe. That's easier. We had the PowerShell conference in Vienna. Is this the first conference that you did?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm working with Gael since 6 months to organize this event. So it was successful, I think. I hope, in fact.
And did you learn a lot about PowerShell?
I'm not an IT So I will understand only 5% of sessions. So I was not attending and just keep focus on the event managing.
But now that you managed to be here at the PowerShell Conference, I think you learned a lot. We got covered all the different countries throughout Europe. What was that on a personal experience? People especially friendly, especially angry, especially nervous. What was your expectation to meet people from those multiple countries?
Yep. In fact, I was not afraid because everyone is very welcoming,
Yes.
and kindly, and it's a great community, and you feel in directly, you feel good with them. And that's why I was kind of afraid at the beginning, because I don't even know what was PowerShell Conference Europe some months ago. But in fact, you can come on next year and see yourself how it looks like, and it will be very interesting.
Organizing such a conference, this is, I think you can compare it with observing cockroaches. If you see one cockroach, there are 900 cockroaches more. So in terms of a conference, there's so much work you put in it. And then we get 4 days of conference, and all of a sudden it's boom, everything is away. Everything is gone. You used it. How much work actually was it to prepare for the conference? What did we not see?
A lot, for sure. There is 6 months. I'm mostly all time working on it with, of course, all other organizers like Gael, of course. I think they already did a part of the job before I'm in, and we're already working on the next year PowerShell Conference Europe. So,
you said 6 months, right?
Yeah, since the beginning of December 21. But it's okay. It was a great challenge,
Yeah, it's a great challenge. So, on behalf of everyone that attended here, on behalf of every delegate, every speaker, anyone here, I really like to thank you. Thank you on a very personal level. And this is, you're just a metaphor. My thank you goes to Gail, of course, and all the other organizers. So, final question. Vienna is nice. I did like Hanover, but it's obvious that we are having a lot of attendees from our region. We are both being German. I always think it would be nice to broaden it a little bit, to gain more attraction to people in other countries. What would be your perfect next city for the PowerShell conference? What would you like to be in? Where do you think a PowerShell conference would fit perfectly?
You mean something other than, again, Hanover or Vienna? Paris, because I really like France, or somewhere in Italy, because they both have very good food. Yeah.
So, I'm very, very curious if we will meet again next year, fingers crossed, and I'm very, very curious where that will be. Anja, thank you for the interview, and enjoy your time here at the conference.
Thank you, Thorsten.
Finally, what you will do when you go home back to France? What will be the first things that you do? I guess I know what you will do, but tell it yourself.
Get some rest. Yeah. Definitely.
Sleep for a few days, right?
And stopping beers. Had enough, and now when we'll go back, me and friends, Gael, in his home, we'll still have some stuff to do after the event, but it's gonna be okay, It will be more quiet, definitely, but sounds good to me. I will go back to family, see my daughters, and it's gonna be great. But thank you to you, Thompson, for your work with us, because you are very helpful for video records, and many other things, and your sessions. I did not attend to. I went just to record you on stage. But thank you. Thank you to everybody. Of course, every folks who were here during 4 days and who made this great experience and atmosphere. And see you next year.
You're welcome. And yeah, hopefully we do. And I'm pretty sure when we publish the videos, you will recap every single one of them. You will be a perfect PowerShell expert. So see you next year. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.